Mike Moore Media.
I'm talking to the mayor of Eden, Neville Hall. Mayor, hey, how are you, sir?
I'm doing fine, Mike. How you doing?
I'm doing great, sure. Yeah, our monthly get-together. And I wanted to get your input. One of the things that came out earlier this month in the Eden City Council meeting, revisiting recycling. And I know that's something that you mentioned in that meeting that you did and you believe in, but it didn't really work that well before. So give us an update on that and how we can get involved this time around.
Yeah, we tried it before. We had a contract with Waste Management. We were able to negotiate a really good contract, and it was, I can't remember, $2 or $3 a month. They were assuming we were going to have most of the city participate, and as a result of lack of participation, they let the contract expire. So we had curbside recycling at one time, and now it's gone. And it's something that people who recycle really appreciate, and even, people who normally wouldn't recycle, if they can do it curbside, they're much more likely to just put it in the can and take it out there. And that's obviously better for the environment, better for the landfill. It's cheaper on the city. We don't have to take it to the landfill if it's being recycled. That's the goal. But, this particular company has given us a price based on 200 or 400 people, and I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be an option that people have, but it doesn't necessarily mean it'll happen. It'll depend on if we get at least 200 people, and if they're willing to pay, it's like $12 or something a month. And if that's the case, and then it goes down significantly if we get 400 customers. So hopefully that's what'll happen, and we can go back to curbside recycling. We had a grant several years ago and purchased all of the cans, or we're granted the recycle cans. We got 400 of them, so I would love it if we had to order some more. That would mean this program is a success and people want to see it. So it'll be. We're just in the beginning phases of it. Had a discussion with the company that's going to do it, and we're going to try to put it out for option for people.
Yeah, and this is completely voluntary.
That's right.
Yeah, and this is JCR Recycling. It's a recycling center on Fillcrest Road that's been there a while. They do some really good work, very impressive when you go through that facility and see what all they do. Wow, yeah. Okay.
It was cost prohibitive for so long with, you got to pay somebody to come and take the recyclables. Years and years ago, it was people were paying for the metal and plastic, and then it got to where, we'll pick it up for you, but we're not going to pay you anything. And then it went to, you're going to have to pay us to pick it up. And we couldn't get the support from the city residents to do that.
Yeah. Well, like you said, you've got to have at least 200 to make this work. So what's the next stage, the next step in this, Mayor?
I'm not exactly sure where it'll be advertised or where the sign-ups will be. I'm sure it'll be a link to it on our website, and we'll open it up for volunteers that want to recycle, and then see how far we can go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I
know. I'm sure the website will be the best place to look.
Yeah. Okay. And I know one thing mentioned in that city council meeting too, and a lot of people get excited about this time of year is the annual spring cleanup at the county landfill. So that's coming up April 4th through 8th. A lot of people like that.
Yeah, it's an opportunity to put stuff on the curb that normally wouldn't be picked up during your weekly garbage pickup. So good time to do your spring cleaning and put your stuff out on the road. And there are a list of prohibited items also on the webpage, but pretty much, other than like tires and pallets, and there are a couple of things you can't put, but other than that, it's time to clean out the old building and put it all out there.
Yeah. Okay. Again, that's coming up April 4th, or that's next week. So that really starts. Next week. Okay. All right. Well, that's just a couple of things I wanted to mention. I know you've got some other things going on around the city. Anything in particular that we needed to cover, Mayor?
No, I mentioned at the council meeting that we're coming upon festival season now, so everybody keep an eye on the calendar and mark your calendar for these events that are coming up. talked to Cindy the other day. I think they're down to like literally like a handful of tickets left for the Grown and Gathered. So that's always a popular event. But I think you need to act now if you're trying to want to go to that in May. So I think it's May 19th.
Yep.
They could possibly be already sold out because it was last week when I talked to her. So I'm not sure what the status is on the tickets, but you can call City Hall and ask for Cindy, and she can tell you.
Sure. Yeah. Spring Grown and Gathered, May 19th, at a new location at the farmhouse. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, it is. It's nice. That's the former 912 Bethlehem. It's opening back up as an event venue, and if you've ever been there, it is a beautiful place.
Yeah. And then the Piedmont Pottery Festival, June 4th, Oink and Ale, June 18th, a couple of big events that month, and Shagging on Fieldcrest, July 23rd. I know you mentioned all of those at the meeting, but I thought I'll toss them in here. You know, right before I called you, Mayor, I was on the city website, and I was checking out the ClickFix app and the information there, and I see this is a pretty impressive thing where if we have any problems around the city, we can go there and kind of file a report or whatever. And it looks like almost 800 issues fixed. When I checked just a few minutes ago, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean that is. I've said it all along. We have very dedicated city staff that wants to provide the best services we can, and we don't know if anything's wrong. It's usually until somebody tells us, and a lot of times when they tell you there's a problem, they're already upset about it. Whereas if you just tell them and give them a chance to fix it, usually things will get fixed. So, that's just another tool to give people an option to how to report anything they need to work on.
Yeah. So we're looking at potholes and street lights out and things like that. And it kind of lists, I hadn't been on that since you started it, so, it lists kind of the top issues and concerns that people have. And so ClickFix, what a good idea that is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And, you mentioned...
We redid the website a couple years ago and got a lot of nice features out of that.
Oh, yeah, yeah. You mentioned the city cruise. Of course, you know where we live, so we're right here on the main stretch to go to Public Works. And, but the Public Works people are out there. I see those vehicles everywhere all over the city. They're busy.
Yeah, I mean, they were out until 2:45 this morning fixing a water leak. So,
wow.
They'll go where they need to go, that's for sure.
Yeah, okay. So we appreciate that team for sure. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know one other thing you mentioned, talking about upcoming events, and this will happen before we talk again, I guess, and that's the Easter egg hunt at Freedom Park.
Freedom Park, yeah, another popular children's event. Well, all ages, actually. I mean, everybody loves a good Easter egg hunt, but it's down at Freedom Park, yeah. Hopefully we'll have a good crowd for that, good weather.
Yeah, and that is April 16th, 11 to 1. Put that on the calendar. Okay.
You got it.
All right. Anything else, Mayor?
I don't think so. Let's keep it kind of quiet. How about that?
Okay. Yeah. Except for the work that's going on in Uptown Eden and new businesses. I talked to someone about to do some work there on the boulevard and with a new shop. And, boy, stuff like that's just going on everywhere around the city.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many it's been, but I've cut a lot of ribbons in the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, a lot of people opening businesses and wanting to live here. It's a good place to be. I was in Philadelphia this past weekend. I took my boys up for the Carolina basketball Sweet 16.
Yeah.
And you ride around downtown in Philadelphia, and you really do appreciate living in Eden, North Carolina.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I can understand. We were talking about that with some friends over there. I can understand why people are leaving that area and moving to North Carolina for sure.
Okay, so those of us who have never been to Philadelphia, give us a comparison. What's the big difference there and in Eden?
The downtown area, well, South Philadelphia, I think is where most of the tourist stuff is, and it's obviously they got a lot of history there, but the cars are just packed, and everything's parallel parking in one-way streets, and it's you look for an hour to find a parking spot, and it's just the streets are narrow. They got parking on both sides, and it makes you appreciate the slow lifestyle we have here in Eden. So obviously parking is an issue for us, and that's a good problem to have. That means people are downtown in our business areas. So we're always looking for options to improve our parking, but we definitely don't have anywhere near the problem they have in Philadelphia.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
but
good.
The Tar Heels did win for us. So
yeah, good. So that was a good
great
trip.
Weekend.
A good trip.
Great
that was
weekend.
a fun weekend. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Glad you got to do that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mayor, it's always good to talk to you. Thanks a lot for your time. I know you're busy, and appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Mike, for having me.
Okay. Have a good month coming up in April. We'll talk to you then. Okay?
Okay, thanks, man.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye. Bye.
All right, that's Neville Hall. He's the mayor of Eden, and we were talking about the website. Yeah, please check that out. That is edennc.us, edennc.us, and be sure to visit exploreedennc.com. Find out about those upcoming events and Facebook page and all of that too. And be sure to shop locally, support our hometown businesses in Eden, some that have been here for many, many years, and we appreciate all of them. And then the new businesses that have recently opened and some that will be opening soon. Our program is sponsored by Carter's Auto Repair and Exhaust on Kings Highway in Eden. Now, that's a business that's been there for over 30 years. He was in the downtown Leakesville area for many years and moved out on Kings Highway. That's Charles Carter. Quality work at affordable prices. They specialize in exhaust, custom and stock exhaust, really all automotive work. That lot is always busy. They're open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5. All qualified mechanics, and yes, Charles, with his many years of experience too. That's Carter's Auto Repair and Exhaust on Kings Highway. Here's their phone number, 336-627-9149.